The guys telling you to quit your 9 to 5 job, most of them are broke. And the ones that aren't, well, they're probably trying to sell you a course. Today I'm going to tell you why your job might be the smartest financial move you've probably got right now in your pocket. And I say that as someone who wants to build my own thing too. And at the end, I'll give you my personal checklist when it actually does make sense to leave. But first, let me explain why everyone online is probably lying to you. Every single day, your feed is probably full of someone standing next to a Lamborghini, probably rented, telling you that your boss is stealing your time. Quit your job, start dropshipping, be your own boss, and I can't lie, it does sound really good. It sounds like freedom, but let's be honest, nobody tells you what happens 6 months later when the savings are gone, the business hasn't made a penny. Here's a stat for you, just to put things into context. The majority of small businesses fail not because the idea was bad, but because they just ran out of cash. Because the founder couldn't pay rent while also trying to figure it out too. You know what solves cash flow? A job. A boring, consistent, money hits your account every month's job. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, and I can hear you already thinking, that's incorrect, that doesn't sound like fun at all, and just that doesn't make any sense, and that's not how you build an idea or a business. But please, stay with me. Think about it like this. In Black Ops 2, which is probably going to be quite a weird analogy for this, you wouldn't just sprint into a match without picking or at least knowing the loadout you want to go for in that match, wouldn't you? You'd pick your primary weapon, you'd pick your secondary, you would pick your perks, and you would have a setup. Your 9 to 5 is effectively your primary weapon. It is the base. Everything else you build, the side hustles, the investments, this YouTube channel, those are your perks and your attachments. But without the base gun, those perks are kind of useless. A guaranteed income, you can plan, you can budget, you can invest, you can take risks on the side, because your survival isn't really on the line. That's not being a slave to the system, that's just being strategic. The quit your job crowd makes it sound like the second you hand in your notice, the money just appears in your account and you're a rich business owner and you're free. The reality is it doesn't. If you ask most people who have done it before, the first 3 months typically tend to be terrifying depending on the kind of business you're making. Sometimes it could be the first 6 months, the first year, the first 2 years, the first 3 years of the business were absolutely terrifying. Everyone's different. Now, there's a cheat code for building wealth, and almost nobody at our age, especially in their 20s, is actually using it. It's called compound growth. It's boring, which is exactly why it works. Quick version, okay? You invest your money, it grows. Then the growth earns its own growth, and over time it snowballs. That's it. That's the whole thing. You invest every month a set amount, which is quite simple. Again, if you're 22, you put away £200 a month into a high interest account. If you know some certain stocks that you know are quite safe, like pension funds and other things like that as well, really similar, bomb-proof, they all go fluctuate over the time, but they pay a good dividend. Nothing fancy, you're not a stock market genius, let's be honest, but you're planning by the time you're 40, you're looking at somewhere in about 80 to 100 grand. Could be more than this, I think it depends on how much you feed in every month. And again, you only put in 43,000, 50,000 pounds of that by yourself. The rest, that's compound growth just doing its thing. Just while you slept, while you worked on other things, you're making money work for you. But again, look, there's a catch to everything else. You need to be consistent. You need to feed that machine. You can't invest £200 a month if you don't know whether you're going to make £200 this month. Your 9 to 5 gives you that consistency. It's almost like the engine. The Instagram guys flashing crypto gains, that's just a highlight reel. They're not showing the months that they lost money. The slow and boring will always beat fast and flashy, every time. That's not an opinion, it's also, the math backs it up as well. I've also started investing. I've been investing about £200 to £250 a month. Not that much, just drip feeding it in, which you'll have some months where you'll be really low. You'll have a bad month, you might lose some money. You have months where you're in the green, but over time, that'll even itself out. It won't hit as hard, and you might realise that £250 a month that you've invested for 5, 10, 15 years has compounded into an almost amount where you could retire. You could enjoy a bit of money, maybe get yourself a new car, or maybe invest more of it as well. So I'm not telling you just to sit there and be happy with your check and just that's it. That's you for the rest of the year. You can't enjoy things. You can't go out and just treat yourself every once in a while. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you how to use it. This channel right now, TwoBasic, is my side hustle. Not even side hustle. It's just something I enjoy doing. I enjoy ranting and making videos, but I'm not doing this full time. Because I'm not doing this full time, I can take risks because my rent doesn't depend on it. I don't have to meet financial needs at the end of this month. If this video doesn't do well, this video has to do well. Again, it also doesn't depend on whether a video pops off or becomes viral. And I can be honest because I'm not chasing what the algorithm maybe wants at that time, just simply survive. There's no pressure to go viral. And that freedom, that came from having a stable income. Allowing me to take risks and not sit there and worry like, oh my god, I have to follow the trend and sell myself out in order to just simply make it through to the next month. No, I'm being sensible, I'm doing things on the side, and that's kind of where it should go. Again, if you're in tech, which is where I am as well, you're in the best possible position that you could ever be in. Your day job is quite literally training you in the skills that you need to build your own thing. Apps, websites, SaaS tools. You can build all of that on evenings, weekends, while someone else pays your bills and teaches you how. Alright, okay, right. At the start of this video, I did promise a checklist, and here's when it might actually make sense to quit. 3 things, that's it, really, really simple. 1, your side income has matched or beaten your salary for at least maybe 3 to 6 months. Not just 1 month, that's not good enough. You want consistency. This is really important. 2, you've got an emergency fund covering between maybe 6 to 12 months of expenses, because even when things, might end up doing really, really well, then it's really important to make sure that there will be dry months. There will be months that you might not do as well. So having a bit of backflow and a bit of emergency cash there, it really can help. 3, you've also stress tested it. You've asked yourself, if my worst month becomes my average month, can I survive? If the answer is yes, then, well, yeah, you might be ready then to take the leap. Until those 3 boxes are checked, there's no shame in the 9 to 5. None. The people making you feel bad for simply just having a job, they're usually the ones that are selling you something. Just think about that for a minute, stew on it if you'd like. So I know this isn't the video that the algorithm wants, how I quit my job and made 6 figures in 90 days. Yeah, that would probably get more clicks than anything else, but that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about what's real and how to survive. Simple as that. Your 9 to 5 isn't the enemy, it's a foundation. Building it, stack your money, start your side thing, enjoy it. And when the numbers say it's time, not your ego, which most people tend to go with, not some guy on TikTok, the numbers, then you make the jump. So again, look, drop a comment if you've enjoyed, and also tell me what you're building on the side and what you're doing to try and help grow your wealth and everything as well. I would want to hear it. I want to hear people doing well for themselves. So again, I'm all for it. And if this is your first time here, please really make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified that next week we're about to get into the truth of relationships in your 20s and kind of see where that's going. And that one's going to hit different. So this has been TwoBasic. We're just figuring it out. Thank you.